Kansas City, everybody. It's like 45, much warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday morning it was 26. And you know what? Like, I grew up in New England, but I'm done with the cold. Good morning, everybody. We haven't done a video in a while on this channel. Well, I did a video last week. If you didn't see the video I put out last weekend, I mentioned that a good friend of mine last weekend in Port-au-Prince was shot and we were attacked. He and his two sons were shot and his youngest son was killed. The youngest son was about 7 years old, and so we've just been reeling all week. And in that video, I was kind of trying to protect who he is because of the security situation in Haiti right now, but now the story has got out into the international media. So it's been a real difficult week. Of course, his family is reeling, so you can be praying for him. But what I want to do in this video is just kind of catch you up. You know, as we've been traveling around the States, sharing about what God is doing in Haiti, we're getting two questions. One is, man, what's going on in Haiti? And then the other question is, are you guys going to go back? The question about what's going on in Haiti, I want to make actually a separate video on that. I'm going to do that in a couple days, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you'll see that coming. But I want to just kind of catch you up in this video on what we've been up to. We got back here to the States on August 5th. We left Haiti and flew out on an old DC-3 World War II era plane and spent some time at Missionary Flights International in Fort Pierce, Florida, which was an organization that partners with us. And we had a real cool blessing happen while we were in Florida. We had some really good friends of ours who said, hey, you know, we know Haiti's been hard for the past few years. Want to do something really special for you guys while you're in the States to help you on your home ministry assignment. And so they actually sent money so that we could buy a motorhome. Not something we dreamed we'd ever be able to do, but we spent some time in Florida finding something that was in decent shape for the budget that we had. And then we hit the road and started heading north. We stopped first in St. Augustine, got to visit with my mentor there. That was so fun to see him. And then from there we went up to Savannah, Georgia, because in downtown Savannah there's actually a monument to Haitians who came out and helped us in the American Revolution. I don't know if you knew that, but there are Haitian soldiers that came and helped fight alongside Americans in the American Revolution. We left Savannah and then headed up to North Carolina to visit some good friends of ours who have supported us since the beginning. And then from there, we headed up to Hershey, Pennsylvania to spend some time with a church that's been a great supporter for STEP over the years. So we got to visit with them and share. And while we were there, they blessed us with tickets to Hershey Park. After a couple days with them, we headed up to New England, and that's where we've been for most of the time since we got back to the States. We spent about 6 weeks up in New England, got to visit with a lot of folks that are supporters, got to preach several times while we were up there, got to preach in New Hampshire. We went up to Maine twice and visited with some supporters up by Bar Harbor, and then got to preach at a church in Sangerville, Maine. So just had a wonderful time connecting with the part of our support team that's in New England, which is about half of our support team. And then just over 2 weeks ago, we left New England, started heading west. We stopped first in Ohio to visit with some ministry partners there. And then from there, we made a beeline across Ohio and Indiana and Illinois and Missouri to get over to Kansas City so that I could preach at Cornerstone Community Church in Harrisonville, Missouri. And it was super great to be with the folks at Cornerstone. That church has done such a great job at helping us feel loved while we've been on the field. We spent some time with our good friends Mark and Michelle McCune there in Harrisonville. And that was great because Mark and I really think alike in terms of ministry and grace and all of those things. And then we left them and came up here to the headquarters of Crossworld, which is just north of Kansas City. It's been great to be here. This past week we had candidate orientation here, which is a time where they take new recruits who want to go to the nations, and they bring them in here for some training and get them ready so that eventually they can be deployed onto the mission field. And then now our time here at Crossworld at the headquarters is coming to an end, and early tomorrow morning we're going to hit the road again, head down to Oklahoma to visit with some partners there, and then we'll be having Thanksgiving with family. And then at that point, we're going to spend some time in the Southeast and in Texas connecting with the rest of our support team. Now, as we've been traveling around, the one question we get asked the most is, are you going back? The answer is absolutely, we're going back. To be honest with you, I don't want to be in the States right now, and neither does Becca, especially with what happened with our Dean of Students. The first thing I wanted to do is get on a plane and go be with him while they're hurting. But God has us here right now. We're resting in God's sovereign plan right now, but we want to be back to Haiti, and we want to get back there as soon as we can. But the question we're having to wrestle with is the wisdom of how and when. There's been a fuel crisis in Haiti. There's been no fuel available for the past several weeks. So what the lack of fuel has done has created a situation where resources on the ground are really, really limited. Our hope is that we can be back there before Christmas. We would like to take the next month and visit with some supporters that we haven't seen in a while. We feel like connecting with you is such a critical part of our ministry, and so we're glad to have a little bit extra time to do that. We have plans to be in Dallas and Austin. We're looking forward to connecting with more of you over the next month as we prepare to get back. Coming up on the channel, I want to do a video talking about the situation in Haiti, just bringing you up to speed, but then also want to give you some guidance on how you can be praying and how you can respond. We got some other fun videos we want to share, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss anything. We're glad to have you guys on this journey with us. We love you, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hey,